Obviously, something has triggered you for you to tap on this video, for you to be researching how to go about controlling your emotions. Somebody or something happened that made you believe that you are an overly emotional person. Well, let me be the one to tell you the truth that overly emotional people do not exist. That is not a thing. As humans, we are emotional beings. However, we're put into environments that either encourages or discourages that, which causes us to believe that we are acting out or creating bad emotional habits because we aren't encouraged to learn how to control our emotions and how to really balance this being human thing. But I'm here to tell you that if your emotions are absolutely all over the place and you feel so lost and controlled by them, it's simply because you were not taught to control them. It has nothing to do with you. You are not inherently this overly emotional human being. It's simply that the people that you were surrounded by or the people that raised you never taught you how to properly regulate your emotions. But let me tell you that every human being needs to learn this skill, but people have confused emotional control with emotional avoidance, which is shoving down your emotions and not allowing yourself to feel and not allowing yourself to express them. If you run from your emotions because you're afraid that you'll lose control, then doesn't your emotions actually have control over you? So my overly emotional people, I have great news for you. Those emotions that you are feeling, the reason why you feel them so immensely is because your higher self is screaming at you to be heard. Being connected to your emotions is actually an absolutely beautiful thing. If you feel immensely, that means that you have the capacity to be one with your higher self completely. Rising gods and goddesses, my name is Nia Love, aka Love the Hope Dealer, and I am a life coach / life influencer, and my goal is to help you become the best person that you can possibly be so that you can create the life that you desire while also on the journey of creating the life that I desire and becoming the best person that I can be. If you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session with me and shop my merch, including my manifested period line, then you can head over to lovethehopedealer.com. I have some cool stuff on the way, including some affirmation cards that are currently in the works. So stay posted, keep checking it out. If you'd like to connect with me on other social media channels, go ahead and follow me at @NiaLove. I am on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Instagram is my fave, so I'm the most active there. If you want to reach out to me in any way, Instagram is the place to do it. Okay, now that my quick little spiel is over, let's dive into the topic. When it comes to controlling your emotions on a more elementary level, I have 4 steps for you whenever you start to feel immense emotion. Step 1, here's what you do when you feel yourself about to spiral emotionally. So the first thing that I need you to do is take 3 to 5 deep breaths. Do it with me now. In. Like that. This is going to force you to be present in the moment, because I know when emotions start to consume you, it gets a little difficult to be present. And the only thing that you're able to focus on is how you're feeling in that moment. So taking those deep breaths recenters you so that you can be more aware of what's going on around you. If taking the 5 deep breaths doesn't calm you down, then we're going to do this thing called grounding. I almost always have some type of crystal or something on me, or even if you don't have a rock or crystal around you. I used to carry around this rock that said courage that my counselor gave to me when I was a freshman in college. But either way, if you don't carry around something with you, even though I highly encourage you to, find the nearest thing that you can possibly find, whether that be your phone, your car keys, I don't know, a stick. Just find something, and what you're going to do is you're going to hold it in your hand and you are going to describe it with as much detail as you possibly can with your 5 senses. So this crystal, it's honey calcite. It is rough, It has some bumpy parts. It's kind of sharp in some areas. It's orange with a little bit of like clear, cloudy areas. There's this little crack in it that's very sparkly. It doesn't smell like anything in particular. Just kind of smells like a rock. Of course, I don't hear anything. I'm not going to taste it. But if you do that and you just focus on something for long enough, it takes your mind off of whatever you're feeling so that you can momentarily distract yourself enough to calm down. Regardless if the breathing or the grounding work to calm you down, I need you to do one thing especially for me, which is allow yourself to spiral on gratitude. Anytime that I feel myself about to have an anxiety attack, I do my breathing, I do my grounding, but then I start saying everything that I'm grateful for, even if I'm screaming, even if I'm crying, even if I'm hyperventilating a little bit still, even if I'm sad and I just feel like crap and I feel worthless, I still allow myself to think about the things that I am grateful in my life for. Why? Because that allows you to focus on things that are more positive and beautiful. Gratitude is the key to happiness. Step 2, ask yourself, what does it mean? Remember, I said that your emotions are the way that your higher self connects with you, communicates with you to tell you some deeper meaning about what is going on around you. So the goal is to move from I'm angry, I'm mad, I want to hit something, I want to go beat up somebody, to okay, the reason why I'm angry is... So I have kind of like a cheat sheet for what the deeper meaning of the 3 main negative emotions are, which are anger, sadness, and anxiety. So anger likely comes from when you do not feel like you are seen, understood, or respected. The last time that I was truly angry was probably at the end of 2018 when a group of friends pulled up to my house to confront me about a rumor that they heard from somebody else, which were allegations that were completely construed in that person's favor, and nobody even really asked me for my point of view before pulling up 10 deep to my house. So if this happened to you, you'd probably be like, yeah, I'd be pissed too. But let's get to the root of why that would piss you off. It would probably be because nobody bothered to even listen to you. No one bothered to look from your perspective. And also, people are pulling up to your house. Therefore, you don't feel respected. Think back to the time that you felt the most angry, and I bet that you can relate it back to those 3 things. So when you are experiencing sadness, it's likely because something hurt you because it did not go the way that you expected or the way that you desired. The last time that I felt deeply saddened by something, of course, it was over a boy, but it was because he just was not being receptive to the way that I was feeling, and more than anything, that disappointed me because I really expected him, I believed in him, I trusted him to be there for me and be available, be emotionally available, and he wasn't. Therefore, something happened that went against what I truly desired and what I truly expected out of that person. Same with loss and grief. Of course, nobody wants to lose a loved one. That hurts because you're not going to get to spend the same amount of time that you did with them before. You're not going to be able to see them anymore, and that goes against what you desire. So think back to the last moment that you were truly saddened and ask yourself, does it relate to the fact that it went against what you expected or what you desired? And lastly, if you are experiencing anxiety, it is likely because you are afraid of what's to come or because you fear of the outcome of something that may have already happened. Now, the last time that I felt extreme anxiety was actually a few days ago, and it has something to do with money. It's just a bunch of events unfolded where it was completely out of my control, but now I owe someone a good bit amount of money that I did not necessarily know would be a thing. So of course my fear rose from how they would react. How am I going to pay this off? What's going to happen if I don't? Like All anxiety is a bunch of fear, so it's asking yourself, what am I afraid of? Again, think back to the last time that you felt anxious and connect it back to what it was that was making you so fearful. Okay, now that we know the deep root cause of the emotion that you were feeling, now let's allow ourselves to feel. And that is step 3. Like I said in the beginning, emotional control is not shoving down your emotions. Emotional control is understanding that you can feel your emotions without being consumed by them. It is healthy to allow yourself to experience whatever emotions you are experiencing. At the end of the day, you cannot control how you feel and when you feel how you feel. And when I say that very loosely because of course things like diet and exercise and hormones can influence your emotions, but those are more so daily habits and bodily functions. What I mean is when you start to feel your emotions, you cannot necessarily control the fact that you are feeling them in that moment. All you can do is control how you react to them. Therefore, you have to give yourself permission to be in that moment, to feel whatever you feel. Because if you don't, then you are likely avoiding something that your higher self is trying to communicate to you that you need to be listening to, that's going to help guide you forward. And also, if you don't, it's going to build up and likely explode all at once when you can handle it little by little. But the beautiful thing is that if you did step 2, if you know the deep root cause as to why you are feeling these emotions, then the impact that these emotions have on you won't be as strong. Because now as you feel them, you have the understanding in the back of your head, okay, I know why this is really happening, so now I just have to let my body and my emotions go through their course. So what I do is that I allow myself to sit in it for however long I feel like I need, or if there's stuff that I need to get done. If I'm at work, then I set a timer for like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Again, listen to your body, listen to what you need, and sit in those emotions until it is ready to attack what else you have to do. Allow yourself to be flexible with that. Give yourself permission. Shoving down your emotions does not mean controlling them. It actually weakens you. All right, step 4. Now that you have calmed down, now that you have reflected on what these emotions mean, now that you have allowed yourself the time to feel these emotions, now is the time to take action. Now you can make an informed decision on what to do moving forward. Remember, I said that your emotions are your higher self talking to you. So let's take anger, for example. So let's say your man, your woman cheated on you and you are pissed off. So you've already allowed yourself to ground and breathe and spiral on gratitude so that you can calm down. You've already looked deeper into yourself and figured that the reason why you are angry in the first place is because he or she disrespected you and you do not feel seen or heard. You've already allowed yourself to feel those emotions. You've punched a few pillows. You've screamed alone by yourself. You've let those emotions out. So now you can make an informed decision on how to move. Now imagine if you did not take those steps and instead you were just pissed off and you decide to go grab your favorite Louisville Slugger and take out both their headlights. Now, of course, there are consequences. There are legal things that come into matter. There are relationships that are going to be destroyed. There's pride. You're going to feel embarrassed. There's a lot of poor consequences that come with acting out purely on your emotions in the moment. This is why we have the 4 steps, because once you go through those steps, you can sit with yourself and be like, okay, they disrespected me. What am I going to do about it now? And now you can decide to either sit down, have a conversation, leave them, or stay and put up with it. That's your decision, but now you can make it knowing that it's coming from a good place. Always consider, are the consequences worth it? Whatever direction you decide to take, every decision that you decide to make, always ask yourself, are the consequences worth it? Because sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes you'll want to take a leap of faith, like quitting your job or starting a new business or making a huge investment. And of course you're going to feel anxious, but that does not mean to allow that fear to get in the way of you going in that direction, making that decision, in that case, the consequences would be worth it because there's the opportunity to do something great that you desire to do. But of course, going back to the cheating example, beating them up is poor consequences involved. There aren't really any good consequences that are gonna come from that. The wrong decision will never feel right. And of course, as you keep doing this and you keep practicing this, the 4 steps are going to come to you much easier. Like I said, it is a skill. All skills take time and consistent effort and practice in order to master them. So do not worry, this is not going to feel agonizing and difficult forever. So if this video helped you in any way, leave it down in the comments below. Also, if you want to share any other tips or cheat codes or things that have helped you, please feel free to share that with the rest of the empire. All right, gods and goddesses, I promise you, this journey will get easier and easier and easier as you keep doing it. Just keep doing it, okay? I love you, and I will see you next time. Mm-hmm.